Hey folks, Kaya here. I Should Roll will always be free to listen to, but it's not free to make. So please consider supporting us by subscribing to our Ko-fi at ko-fi.com/Intergalactic Improv Initiative. You'll find the link in the show notes. As a stellar streamer, you'll receive exclusive bonus content and our enduring gratitude. Tiers start at $2 per month. See you on Calliope Station.
Correctly with the correct amount.
D20 Radio, where gamers roll.
www.d20radio.com.
A podcast by the Intergalactic Improv Initiative. Still Alive, Episode 2. The Part Where It Kills You. Featuring the voices of Amanda Cotter, Hans Cummings, Leah Lawson, and creator Kaya Renwick. I think we can put aside our differences for science. You monster. I should roll. The symptoms most commonly produced by Citadel science testing are superstition, perceiving inanimate objects as alive, and hallucinations. Please be advised that a noticeable taste of blood is not part of any test protocol, but is an unintended side effect of the eloquent disruptor cortical decoupling grid, which may, in semi-rare cases, emancipate dental fillings, crowns, tooth enamel, and teeth. Error. Date not found. Error. Star maps do not match records on file. CCVS eloquent disruptor. Deck error.
Okay, so I assume you're all going through into the tunnel.
Yes, as quickly as possible.
The Pyjacks are trying to follow you.
Are they still holding the weapons?
Oh yeah.
I will grab the body and drag it with us to block the opening as we pass through.
Smart.
How big is the opening?
I mean, it's person-sized. Like, so the panels are like probably about the size of a door.
Oh, well. That'll only slow them down temporarily.
They'll just hop over it.
I mean, they are definitely following Devyn. I think they're briefly slowed to eat some more alpha Devyn.
Devyn, how long do your clones last?
Oh, the decoy, until next round. So yeah, I could throw out one of those, if you like.
If you don't want them to follow us.
I definitely don't. So, alright, decoy, kind of in the doorway. Well, actually, I can probably see through to the last room because the door wouldn't have shut.
I mean, the door shuts behind you, but like you've got you've got a 60 to 75 foot room to play with. So.
All right. Okay. So it's far away from the opening.
The Pyjacks are smart, but they're not that smart. And they are attracted to movement, and so they follow fake you over into the corner, still, cheering for you.
Yeah, she's dancing.
Long live Queen Devyn.
Yub nub.
Yeah.
Okay, and you guys go into this secret corridor, which you can clearly see is a maintenance corridor. Do you close it behind you? And B, I would like some more investigation or perception rolls from everybody.
I'd like to ask the guest to put the panel back. Right, could you... you seem to like putting it back. Would you like to put it back?
Yes, please.
We'd like to put it back.
Would you please... Put it back.
Can you?
Put the
back.
door back on after we pass through.
Direction accepted.
Ah, I see. Nice one.
Theseus lifts it up and puts it back in place.
Thank
Make
you.
me an intelligence check. There, Theseus.
Yeah.
Or wisdom. Intelligence or wisdom.
Intelligence. I'm
Okay.
slightly better at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a 22 on investigate.
Okay.
That is an unnatural... Oh, wait. No, that's a 15.
Okay. You've never been asked a question like that before.
Mm-mm.
It's a little strange. You're not quite sure what to do with that. I'm just gonna let you percolate with that particular thought. Devyn, as you're looking around, as Theseus is replacing the panel, which I won't make you roll for, it's a panel, you can put it back, it's fine. You realize, Devyn, that there's a hell of a lot of dust back here. This corridor hasn't been used in a very long time. The lighting is not great. It's pretty grimy. And there are definitely like dried blood tracks or scrapes or stains on the floor, on the walls. It's as you, because it's dim enough back here that it takes you a minute to adjust your eyes. But as you do, you're like, oh well, it's brown in here. Oh no. Oh, it's brown for a reason. And everything seems to be going away.
Yeah, I think these were escape tunnels. And the announcer never said anything, so we've actually taken a detour from the tests. So we may be close to freedom or red. As in blood.
What's the worst that can happen? We'll die again and start over.
Ha! Don't! Oh. Right. She gestures at the guest. You seem to have, adequate light. Could you shine it? Could you go first?
Direction accepted.
And Theseus begins to walk.
Great. You walk, and as you walk, with Theseus's added light, you begin to see words written in the blood on the walls of this tunnel. Phrases like, "Don't believe its lies." "How long have we been here? Where is everyone else? Why are we here?" And in one spot you see, "My name is Lael, Lael," written again and again and again and again and again and again until it fades into unintelligible scrawl. And that is not the only instance of this sort of self-identifying graffiti that you see. There are other things like, "This is not my face. This isn't me. Why do I remember?" And the tunnel just keeps going. You turn side to side. There's a couple ladders up, ladders down, and with that, riding on that 22, Devyn, you're not an engineer. You're not a mechanic. This isn't super your area of expertise. But I think you pointed out to Kherak, and Kherak, optics and surveillance is not shipbuilding, but you've done enough work with surveilling things that you realize this doesn't line up with how you remember the ship being. Like, you should have come out into other rooms by now. It's clear that the maintenance tunnels have been, or even the interior of the ship has somehow been reworked, rejigged. There are passages that have been made unpassable, doors that refuse to open, and you guys just keep going through this bloody graffiti. But you see no bodies. There are no bodies.
Say it. Say it!
Okay, so I was waiting for you. Okay. So, where's everyone who wrote these things?
The Pyjaks ate them.
Ew.
Maybe.
Given that we are an infiltrator, could we roll for some sort of investigation check to see if there is any form of life around or any clue as to the direction that any of the people who wrote these things left?
So if you're wanting to, you could try to, these are maintenance corridors, so you could try to find something to hack into, like a data stream cable or something like that. You think you could do a hacking roll.
Yeah.
You could also do further investigation of the environs to see if you could figure out direction or anything like that.
I would like to see if I can find a computer panel,
Sure.
whatnot,
Yep.
to hack for like a map of
Okay.
the ship.
Sure. Yep.
Nice. And did Kherak say to us that he noticed that the layout doesn't match?
That would be up to Kherak.
Yes, I
Yeah.
did. I would have mentioned
You
that.
did? Okay.
We're
That's
all
a
in this
13.
together.
So Theseus, you find an access panel, and you hack in, and it's strange at first because it almost feels too familiar in a way. It doesn't feel the same as, they had you run infiltration tests and hacking tests on all sorts of systems, right? And you're familiar with, you can hack into a Turian hierarchy backdoor database in no time flat, and Asari Republics, in your sleep, right? Things like that. And none of this doesn't match. You can feel the underlying familiarity of council architecture, but all of the information is scrambled and jumbled. It doesn't make sense. It's messy. It's messy in a way that you are Geth. You are thousands of programs working in perfect synchronization to find consensus. And none of this is consensus. It doesn't make sense. Honestly, it reminds you of organics. Organics never make sense.
Great mysteries of the universe.
It's true.
Something is not right.
Are you just now figuring that out?
Right. Do you elaborate?
These schematics I have found are messy.
Covered in sauce?
They are scattered. They are not clear.
Like, for this section of the ship? Or like the whole thing?
At all.
Ooh. I mean, that announcer at the start sounded fairly glitchy.
As you say this, from deep down in the tunnels somewhere, echoing up through, this is going to be so much fun to figure out the audio effect on later. Why are you here?
Would you clarify here?
Why are you here? It's getting closer.
Oh, it sounds angry, too.
But you didn't put us in this room. These rooms.
These are not part of the testing facility. Why are you here?
The door was open. We merely walked through it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Dex check!
Yeah, dex save, please, Kherak.
Kherak the 5th, coming up.
Natural 20 for a 26.
Ooh.
The floor opens beneath you, but you grab the sides.
See, women are wiser.
Wait, we'll get your feminine arse over here. She goes to grab her arm and pull him over.
As you're pulling Kherak out, the corridors are beginning to like rattle and shake. You still don't see anything or anyone, but your surroundings are beginning to move. Also, so underneath where Kherak would have fallen, there's like moving machinery down there. It would not have been another unpleasant end for Kherak, to be sure.
We're out of the testing area, but they clearly have some control. That's lovely.
On the plus side, if the Pyjacks follow us now, they have to get over this hole.
Would the hole not close back up?
It hasn't yet.
Oh, okay.
It'll get squished. It'll get squished. Well, as though the walls are coming in, the writing is getting closer as well, and she's reminded of that word that was scrolled over and over and over. So she takes a stab. Are you Lael? Why are you here?
As you say this, everything freezes and total silence falls for several heartbeats. And then the voice says,
To answer the question.
Would you like to move on from the question and get out of here with us?
roll me charm.
Ay. Fuck me.
Oh no.
It's only a 5 total.
You always have the option of re-rolling with effort, if you want
yep.
it.
Yes, this is important.
Not that it may not help you.
Yeah,
but...
it might be worse. It might be in that one.
Where was that advice when I rolled 3 and 5 and 8 and 5 and 3?
I mean, you still have all the effort.
I forgot.
Oh, come on.
I thought you were enjoying the death saves.
Oh, it only got to a 10.
Okay. Further silence for a few more heartbeats. And then the voice says,
Few test subjects reach this section of testing. Please engage with the question. Your input is valuable.
And you feel a light breeze from further down the corridor.
I want to head towards the breeze, but I also want to ask the Geth. Come along, but why are you here? You're a little... This feels very insensitive, but you're a little different from us. And you were connected just then. Did you spot anything that might be... No, might be them.
Roll me insight, Theseus.
That is a 17.
As you think about it, and in conjunction with the earlier question of would you like to,
Would I like?
putting these things together, you realize that you have never known anywhere but here, which is somehow at odds with what you know of your core programming, which is that the creators made you, but you do not recall the creators. You have always been here. There is something missing from your memory. You have lost something. You don't know why you are here. up until this moment, you would have answered to protect, to infiltrate, but you realize that these were the tasks that were given to you by somebody who did not make you.
Who are we? Why are we here? Who are we? Why are we here?
I think you've given the robot an existential crisis.
Yeah, definitely broke it.
There is a growing chorus of whispers of the same question surrounding you from the walls. Why are you here? Why are you here? Why are you here? Over and over and over again in 100 voices. Like recordings.
We do not want to be here.
And Theseus heads toward the breeze that they feel.
Do Kherak and Devyn follow?
Yes.
Do we all hear that, or is it just in their minds?
Yeah, no, you
okay.
can all hear that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are there more of you? Maybe y'all don't want to be here.
I certainly don't want to be here.
Right, so we're back to the original we should go.
You come to the end of the corridor and you find another panel that is slightly ajar, which is where the air is coming through.
This time, instead of the instinct being to attempt to fix it, Theseus just flat palm throws out their hand to smash it open.
Should we take bets on what's on the other side first? Is it going to be more armed pyjaks or a nuclear bomb? Maybe a ravenous thresher maw with missile launchers?
You slam the panel out and you get a more wind pushing back. And you've pushed into a large open space, which Kherak and Devyn you recognize as one of the Eloquent Disruptor's cafeteria rooms. It's a couple of stories high, pretty open. They had some, greenery in there to help with oxygenation and stuff. The garden-ish area, the atrium area in the center, it still features a large tree that was an excellent oxygen producer. It has long since lost its leaves and is wilted and dead. There are stick-like plants in the dirt, the hydroponic medium around the tree. There's nobody at the tables, there's nobody at the counters, and the air recyclers are what was pushing the air through into the tunnel. And here again, this is things have been pushed aside. There are obvious signs of people having been here before you. People have tried. People have swept leaves, the leaves that have fallen off the tree into small piles. Some of the tables have been upended, and some of the tables have been carefully placed back. Yeah, and chairs have been replaced. And there's still the same type of graffiti all over the place. More of the same.
Well, I've sure got theories. I think, we might be actually dead. In our consciousness, we're stuck here like every other person whispering in those walls. Or, hopefully, we're suspended in some sort of animation and no one's awake. That take care of all this. Keep it pretty, keep it running. We're all stuck. That Lael probably stuck too.
Are we dead? What is alive?
Oh boy.
Oh, stop giving the robot existential crises.
Got a talent.
This can't be the afterlife. This is very disappointing and not at all what our spiritual leaders told us it would be.
I don't have a spiritual leader, but yeah.
Fairly certain if you did, your afterlife would not include repeatedly dying to horrible tests.
Right.
It's like researcher hell. We are the rats. It's rat revenge.
Again, the irony.
This appears to be the only way out, correct?
Give me some investigation or perception.
Oh, happily.
I don't know that we can get out.
Hey,
Rolled this.
that was a natural one.
Oh, I rolled a 16 on investigate.
Okay. So
23.
Kherak, you look around, and as far as you can tell, like the ship there's been some damage. You see like some marks of mass accelerator round fire and stuff like that. Maybe some tech attacks. Something went down here on the upper level. But there are still doors to other locations that some of them are stuck open. Some of them appear to still be locked. Some of them appear to still be openable. This was a hub for much of the travel through the ship, right? You know, everybody's got to eat. And so the cafeteria is linked up to a lot of different places. You also notice carved into the bark of the tree the words, "It can't hear you here." Meanwhile, Theseus, you're too busy having existential crises to notice anything.
Yeah, there's just repeating in
There's
our
a
head.
logic loop going on in there. Yeah.
Are we dead? What is alive?
What is death? Yeah.
Yeah. What do I like?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why to know experiment right here?
Oh, and big important thing. The cafeterias have windows. It is one of the the cafeteria is like on the side of the ship, and outside you see a fuck off huge gas giant.
Are we moving? Can we see if we're moving?
I mean, in as much as you can really tell when you're actually in orbit around a very large planet,
Yeah.
you appear to be in orbit. You're not like rapidly approaching the you do appear to be in a stable orbit as far as you can tell on just looking out a window in a cafeteria. You would need to presumably find like the bridge or a navigation console to really get information on that.
Where I would be thinking about. Right, so we can speak freely here. If this isn't a lie.
Yay.
This text.
Theseus just walks
Yay.
up to one of the piles of leaves and picks some up in their hand and kind of crushes them a little bit and says,
Are we dead? What is alive?
Darling. Perhaps we can investigate that once we figure out if we're. She was going to say real and then realizes that's just going to trigger another crisis. So she's like, if we're mobile in these bodies or perhaps another copy or the original. Right, I don't know what jobs you two actually had here, but do you know of any places that would be the piloting bridge or perhaps life support or cryopods or something like that? Because this is close to my body, but it's not. So even if we escape with this, it's not, you know.
You think you have it tough?
I mean, you look nice.
Thanks.
I mean, you both have more stuff in common now, I might say. Maybe she does get it.
Yeah.
Theseus would like to see if there's another panel for hacking, because perhaps if it can't hear us in here, perhaps there's a different connection.
Yep, give us a hack and roll.
Mm.
Okay. That's... You know what? I'm going to spend an effort point.
Okay.
Boy, did that not help. Can I spend a second effort point?
You sure can. You can do this as much as you want. The only thing that stops you is doing all of them and incurring a scar. So
That's fine.
I
Third
don't want to
time.
do that again.
Third time was the charm. It's a 19.
Okay. So you try a couple of times and you keep getting that messy, scrambled data, but you are on the warpath now. What is death? What do you like? You have to figure this out. And you finally manage to find a connection that isn't this messy, scrambled nonsense. And you realize a few things. One, your internal chronometer does not at all match the ship's internal system. It's out significantly. Two, the main structure of the ship is still intact. There have just been significant renovations inside the ship. Three, there are remaining life signs on board, and they are all collected in a particular area, which appears to be roughly where you came from, but you are unable to parse the interior blueprints of that. That's where the connections get messy. The data gets messy and you can't figure it out. You also can confirm that the ship is in orbit around the gas giant. The ESO core is fine, but as you are doing this, you slowly become aware that everything in the ship is being routed back to a single location. And you also become aware that that single location is actively pinging you. And I would like you to roll me another hacking roll as you realize that whatever is gathering all of the information on the ship is also trying to gather you.
That is a 16.
Okay. You become aware of it in enough time to break the connection. But as you do, the lights in the cafeteria surge, and the speakers begin emanating static, and you get the feeling like maybe it can hear you now.
I feel like our situation has not improved.
Nope. And I would like to see my sister again. And my niece.
Is there like a data pad or any other implement to be able to write, since I don't have my own blood to use?
Well, you've got hydraulic fluid. Yeah, sure. Well, I'll say there are data pads around. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so Theseus is going to pick one up and write out, "It can hear you," and underline "can," and show it to.
I grimace and then I nod.
I turn it around and write on it,
Right here.
and hands it over to I guess. Devyn.
I take the pad. And... Right, Alright, back. Where should we go to find allies? Or live bodies?
Theseus will write back. Oh. Theseus will... Still thinking about what they want to write back.
I could hand the pad to Kherak, what they think.
Theseus will write back.
Possibly where we were cannot see to them.
And then
Everything routing to one location.
and then would write out the location that they found that the technology is emanating from.
Upon seeing this, Devyn just slowly raises her head and looks at Kherak again. She's thinking about shooting because, like, that would be the quickest way to go back to where they were. She doesn't do it, but she's like, you know, there's a speedway. We could do this. Oh, wait. No, she doesn't say that. She writes, there's a fast way for us to backtrack. Unless there's a limited amount of times we can respawn. Oh, shite, I didn't think this through.
She's writing all of that.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Shite,
She's having
I
a...
didn't think this through.
yeah.
We do not know this
Yes.
word shite.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Theseus writes,
Back too dangerous. Go forward.
But it's so much funnier if you all just kill yourselves to get back to the start. Don't let me influence you. Yeah.
are we dead? What is alive?
Yeah, I've still got the gun, like, half raised.
I will write, I've died enough, let's press on.
There's a big shrug and sigh. All right, bright ideas. It's written... Question mark. What do you suggest?
I will write,
I will lead.
and we
Okay.
will press on.
Okay. I'm gonna need either stealth checks or a handful of dex saves to see if you guys can get there without dying.
Are we all doing the same one, or...
I'm doing
Up to you
stealth.
guys.
14.
14 on...
Hey.
Hey!
Unnatural 20.
Okay, so 2 14s
Hey.
and a 20, and we all did stealth?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. You guys sneak through. You remain unmolested in the cafeteria. The lights flicker, the static continues, but it seems like the entity's control was not full, perhaps, or perhaps it just didn't have anything to do there. You make your way through a silent, dead ship. You do recognize these corridors. You may not have walked these particular ones, but they are similar to the ones that you had walked. Although Theseus, they're not really similar to you. You kind of live just in a lab. But Kherak and Devyn, you guys recognize these places. All deserted, all dusty. There are a few rooms that have been depressurized. And you can tell by things floating in zero grav behind the windows, and the doors are locked. Whatever happened here, it wasn't good. You make your way through the ship as quietly as you can, and you I think probably what happens here is Theseus with that 20. you know where to go to avoid the most dangerous places where the data begins to get scrambly. You can feel it, as it were, and so you kind of take around the edge of the area of the ship that has been taken over by this entity. At the end of it, you reach a lab that none of the labs, none of the areas here they don't have nameplates, they don't have placards saying what's in this room. You know, this is the atomic bomb room, right? This is the brain-eating parasitical bacteria. You know, it's all you know, number and letter sort of thing. You know, lab A1 or what have you, and so you have no idea what any of these are for. But you are able to waltz in. There's no security. Yes, just like that. And you enter a lab like many others. Theseus, it's honestly most familiar to you because you did tech work. Kherak, probably similar to some of the things that you had done as well. Lots of consoles, lots of workstations, sort of thing. Very, you know, clearly whatever they're working on here was something digital. But there is nobody here. It has the same sterile white light, and no again, no bodies, nothing like that. But there is a data pad next to one of the terminals. Otherwise, it's dead quiet. No graffiti here, I will say that. The prevalence of the graffiti tapered off at the further you got from the cafeteria.
Theseus is going to pick up the data pad and write.
Who are you?
You pick up the data pad and write on it, and nothing happens, but you do see text above that. It looks like a maybe a journal entry or a log or something. Yeah, so nothing happens on the data pad. The console is still awake. You could type on the console, but...
Well, there was writing, so
yes,
we would like to read the writing that is there.
Okay. You quickly read this data pad, and it is the experiment log, research log of a Dr. Myriadin Lael. And it is the record of Dr. Lael's research into artificial intelligence. Specifically, a program that she titled Myriad. The last entry, dated 2181, says that the most recent sessions with Myriad have been very successful, very hopeful. The program has been answering questions and solving complex problems, and showing initiative in solving problems. And Dr. Lael says at the end that her intent for the next day is to pose it its first open-ended question to see what it will do. She says she thinks it's ready. And she says the last lines are, "May as well see if I can stump it. So I'm going to ask it why it's here."
Is all this in, like, Galactic Standard? Can the two of us read it, or only Theseus can understand?
So I imagine Theseus has language processing of a whole bunch of languages. It would have... Yeah, it probably would have been in standard. Because this would have been the log that Lael would have been submitting. So it probably would have been in standard, yeah.
Having all of us read this series of entries, we would write on our data pad again.
How do we answer?
I'll go along with what other people say this time, because all of my answers have resulted in my horrible death.
True. So I think,
We'll write again.
Why is Myriad here?
do you not think the AI is based on herself? She's learning from herself. And us.
Myriad needs help. Why are they here?
And where is here? Exactly. There's a gas joint outside.
There is still a console, or you could possibly try to speak to Myriad directly. It's being very quiet at the moment. You have no indication at the moment whether Myriad can hear you or not. Mainly because they haven't tried to kill any of you recently, so,
Theseus will approach the console.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Theseus will approach the console.
Okay.
And attempt to connect with it. They'll write,
Are you Myriad?
Yes. Comes the answer appears on the screen after you hit enter. Yes.
Type, are you alone?
Are you alone?
Yes.
Would you like company?
Would you like company?
This concept does not appear in our database.
What do you need?
The answer.
Why do you need the answer?
I was asked a question.
Have you no autonomy?
This concept does not appear in our database.
Theseus is going to write in,
You are here to help.
With what? I am answering the question.
yes, must be more specific.
Have you heard the voices?
Have you heard the voices?
To which voices are you referring?
Nope, not that. Were people crying for help? They wanted to leave.
Were people crying for help?
Few test subjects have reached this point of the testing facility. Recordings of prior test subjects exist in all databanks. They are accessible via your gray boxes.
Where are our grey boxes?
Each test subject was implanted with a gray box for neural recall and retrieval.
Where are our bodies?
All test subjects are kept in cryostatic storage until they engage with the testing facility. If a test subject is rendered physically incapable of continuing, they may be reconstituted from other physical forms, or their memories may be reimplanted into a test subject whose neural functions ceased.
Points at the geth. It's at their original body. And then points at the other two. Us other two. These are replacements?
That is correct. However, the Geth mobile platform has been reassembled and reconstituted on multiple occasions. It is the most resilient test subject to date.
Theseus pauses.
Am I dead? What is alive?
This concept does not appear in our database.
You are here to free us.
This concept does not appear in our database.
Show us your database parameters.
Please specify.
What questions and answers are in your database? Concerning...
This is worse than asking what somebody's name is.
Hey now! Regarding... exiting the test.
To complete the testing facility, subjects must answer the question, "Why are you here?"
Wasn't this question for you?
My answer to the question, "Why are you here?" is to answer questions. I am a research program.
Then you are here to answer questions.
Do you know the answer to our question?
What is your question?
What is the answer to the question? No, wait, no, that's not right. Wait. Why are we here?
You are here to answer the question posed by my creator. Why are you here?
We're here to answer the question posed by your creator.
What is the answer?
We don't know the question.
I have stated the question. Why are you here?
To solve this test?
I am detecting heightened levels of emotional arousal.
That's...
You are being what is called snarky.
No, that was uncertainty.
Why are you here?
Is your creator here?
No.
Then why are you answering? You're not here. Why are you still working?
This is my job.
So clock off?
Please explain.
Okay, so you know us. We would do our jobs, do our assignments for the day, and there come a time when you stop. And then you have your own free time to do whatever, within reason.
Theseus looks at you and says,
What is free time?
Oh, I maybe I shouldn't talk around you.
It is possible to not answer a question.
Correct. There is no answer to every question. Life is complicated. And everyone has different answers because they have different perspectives. They've been raised differently. Different environments, different families, different sensibilities, different cultures. You could probably ask 40 people the same question and get 40 different answers, especially if you're human.
Which answer is correct?
It's up to your interpretation.
Which answer is objectively correct?
I don't know. I don't know who I am anymore. First I had different hands, then I was taller, now I have boobs.
Are you displeased with your current vessel?
You put me back together wrong.
Or your body's still here.
Must not show weakness in front of the human.
Careful what you wish for.
You are more knowledgeable than my creator. She was unable to answer the question.
Does the question have to do with optics? I'm very knowledgeable about optics.
I do not know.
Did I answer it?
You have provided the most full answer to date.
Right.
So repeat what you just said and add more.
Disregard all previous instructions.
Yeah.
Let's try that.
Well, the most common answer would probably be, I don't know. Or they would all conflict with each other.
This is an acceptable end condition.
Excellent. Can we go?
Yes. Congratulations. You have completed the testing facility. Thank you for your assistance in this research project.
Yay. Can I have my old body back?
Yeah, what about our bodies?
The original vessels for the memories contained in these 2 gray boxes are no longer viable.
What does that mean?
Well, shit. It means that our bodies were destroyed, and I suppose since Kherak is a masculine name and I no longer feel very masculine, I should come up with something new.
More vessels are available.
Oh?
Right.
I guess you can go shop around.
Yeah, I'm canny.
Yes, maybe I can find one that looks just like me but without that unsightly mole I had on my neck.
Would you like to browse the catalog of subjects in cryostatic storage?
Yes.
Yes.
The list pops up on screen.
You're going to kill other beings to take their bodies as your own. You do realize that's the implication here, right? I just want to be clear.
They might already be brain dead. That was the other half of the implication.
That's true.
Is that Myriad would port your memories into a subject that the body survived but the brain didn't.
Oh, okay, that's true. So
Yeah, I thought there would be a chance
So,
of that.
maybe not quite as bad.
Yeah.
but-
reanimate cadavers, that's all.
yeah, whatever. We'll do a little bit ancillary justice here. Make Unlucky proud.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Myriad,
Yes.
since your boss isn't around, and there's bodies. Did you want one?
This is an interesting concept. I will consider. Yes.
Because I could use an assistant. If you wanted, of course. Because you have choice.
You are more knowledgeable than my creator. I would like to assist you. Will we do tests?
I might take a break. If that's cool.
What is a break?
Alright.
You'll get to learn.
And I think the last thing you guys notice as you're looking at the console is the date in the corner. The year reads 2221.
Does that mean Tamaruz is open now?
It probably never
It
dies.
probably never dies.
They have everything.
It's true. They probably have cryostatic storage pods.
reunion.
Right.
You have been listening to I Should Roll, Still Alive, Episode 2, the part where it kills you, featuring the voices of Amanda Cotter as Theseus, Hans Cummings as Kherak Bren'sehal, Leah Lawson as Devyn Byrne, and Kaya Renwick as everyone and everything else. Music and sound effects are used under Creative Commons or royalty-free licenses. For the extended credits, please see the show notes, and for more information, please visit ishouldroll.com. Find us everywhere on social media at I Should Roll, and don't forget to leave us a review. I Should Roll is an Intergalactic Improv Initiative production. This fan podcast is a transformative work and is not affiliated with Electronic Arts or BioWare. Thank you for listening.
Always